If you got an email saying that you renewed an expensive membership to a company you weren't even familiar with, you would probably want to cancel that, right?
As consumer investigator Kristen Byrne reports, a St. Francis man followed instructions to do that, but ended up losing $4,000 in the process.
The man who fell victim to this case didn't want to be identified. The detective who worked on this case told us that once the man clicked on that email, criminals lured him in, instructing him to call a number and cancel that alleged membership. He did that and more because he wanted his money back. Understandably so, considering this was a $487 membership renewal. What was this membership for? It says Norton VPN. What is that?
I think they're kind of combining a couple services together because Norton is an antivirus, but they also do sell a VPN, which does help with online protection.
So the criminals were using the name of an antivirus program as a means to scheme someone.
Absolutely, yeah.
Detective Zachary Gilden of St. Francis Police worked the case and says what made the scheme seem believable to the victim was that before he called the criminals, he checked his BMO Harris bank account and saw a $487.71 payment appeared to be taken out. Once on the phone with the suspects, he gave them remote access to his computer, and they asked him to open his online bank account.
He described it as this person was opening and closing windows very quickly on his computer, and he couldn't really tell what was happening.
Instead of just giving the man the exact refund, the person on the line told him he would make it $500, a good gesture for all of his troubles. This is important because this is how the con artists set the stage for their next step. According to the court documents, before the refund was complete, the subject entered an extra zero to the refund, making it a $5,000 refund. He told the man it was a mistake, that he would lose his job if the man didn't help him. And the only way to undo it was to buy Target, Best Buy, and/or Walmart gift cards, put $5,000 on them, and give the man on the phone the numbers.
He played at the guy's heartstrings. He didn't want to have someone lose their job right in front of him for a mistake.
Surveillance photos show different suspects walking out of stores after allegedly redeeming gift cards out of state within hours of the victim purchasing them. Detective Gilden handed the case over to those agencies.
They bought a large amount of Apple products and some Nintendo products as well.
Gilden says looking back, they don't believe that initial $487 deduction actually left the victim's bank account and are unsure how the suspects made it appear that way. He says these schemes are evolving, and this is a reminder to never pay anyone with a gift card and to be suspicious if anyone asks for remote access to your computer.
He's even told me he kind of just got the tunnel vision of wanting to get his money back, which I can't blame him.
In this case, the man did recover some of his money, but not all. He's out $4,000 in his attempt to get back the nearly $500 he thought he lost. I'm consumer investigator Kristen Byrne.
To put this into additional perspective, the Federal Trade Commission says it received more than 2.1 million fraud reports from consumers in 2020, with imposter scams remaining the most common type. Online shopping, the second most common fraud category, elevated by a surge of reports in the early days of the pandemic. Consumer reporters losing more than $3.3 billion to fraud in 2020 alone.